I am Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Yeah, I'm going to give you what you need. I'm going to give you exactly what you need. You need a lot of stuff. You need barbecue dust. You need dill dust.
You got right in.
You see, you need taco dust.
Shot out of a spicy cannon.
You need dust. You go to eathappykitchen.com. Get yourself some dust.
You guys have to watch this on YouTube and see exactly the shade of red his face is.
All the way through August. BOGO 25. Boy, if I ever figure out what BOGO means, I will also get 25 off. BOGO 25 at Eat Happy Kitchen. We'll mention that at the end of the show because
great.
No one, Anna, no one, and I do mean no one remembers from the beginning of the show to the end of the show.
Because we take them on a journey.
Yeah. You know, they'll go, man, you really weave the web there for me, man.
Yeah. You wove that web.
Yeah, you really pulled it around for me there, bro. All of a sudden, I sound like my buddy Rich Roll.
We befuddle all the bros, don't we?
Anna, can you look up something for me? I heard this through the grapevine.
Oh.
Which we will now be playing.
Do we have hot goss?
Well, this is kind of sad news.
Oh.
But someone died. I think.
Well, that's sad. That's not hot goss.
No, it's not hot goss.
It's cold sadness.
But one of our vegan overlords, I think, passed away.
Oh, well.
But I'm not sure. We need
rest in power.
You know, I should have looked this up before the show, but I'm not that good. It just popped back into my head. But Dr. McDougall, you know, the one that was yelling at Megan when Megan was still my assistant?
Yeah.
And yeah. Someone told me he died.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, rest in power, McDougall.
Can you look it up while I'm doing this and see if Dr. McDougall, a vegan god, has died? Which, by the way, I'm not going to do what the vegans do. Like when Dr.
Oh, no. Yeah, he died on Lauren's birthday, June 22nd. Yes.
I said, do they say how or why? Or he wasn't that old.
77. I mean,
okay.
So he's fully in his sleep. So that's good. Good for him. That's how we all want to go.
They won't tell you heart disease or something. Probably
no.
Okay,
listen.
Because when look, I'm not going to do what the vegans did to Dr. Atkins, who slipped on ice in New York and hit his head on the corner of, like where the corner goes into the road. Cracked his head wide open. The curb. Thank you, Anna. That's why Anna's here, folks.
Yeah, I speak Vinnie.
Yeah, the curb. Yeah. Yeah. And the vegan said, oh, no, he died of a heart attack. And the guy died of a heart attack. No, Atkins died from a brain injury suffered from an accident. But don't ask vegans to tell you how he died because they're going to tell you. I
don't think it's a good idea to speak ill of the dead.
No, listen. I mean,
shame on them for doing that. We're not going to do that.
So, yeah, sorry to hear that he passed away. And I'm truly sorry. I never gloat in anyone's death.
No, God, no.
Any sort. I do wish I had the opportunity to interview the guy.
Yeah.
He told other people that are on our side of the aisle when it comes to eating. He said quite often, "Oh, I'll come. I'll interview you. I'll debate you." And I kept going, "Debate me." No answer. Crickets. Let's see, do I have crickets? Oh. Yeah. Dr. McDougall? Dr. McDougall. No. Michael Greger, would you like to? As a matter of fact, Michael Greger was scheduled to be on the show.
Yeah, he was.
What was it? And I don't want to exaggerate. A half an hour.
Oh, it was so exciting.
right before the show. I mean,
okay, I literally almost scheduled a different appointment because I knew he would bail. And then I was like, just on the, I had this morbid curiosity, like maybe he will show up. This is going to be a fun show. And then I showed up, and sure enough, he had canceled.
Okay, answer. You can confirm or deny this. Did I have pretty much a half an erection when I thought we got to like a half an hour before the show?
I didn't see your pants because you now live 3 time zones away,
Yeah.
but I can only assume
Yeah, my
that that
Levi's
was
were
true.
tight.
Yeah.
They were yeah, they were tight.
Yeah.
They were drawing up a bit.
Yeah.
But, about a half an hour before the show, yep, every one of them, because I told them they can debate me all day long. As soon as we get past B12, we can move on. I tell them what the first debate question is.
Right.
B12. You know, how are
And
you
what do
gonna
they
get
say
rid
to that?
if
We're
you're never gonna
canceling.
eat
That's what they
animal
say.
protein and you know, where are you gonna get B12? And according to Michael Greger, you get it from dirt. So I guess the man is telling you to eat dirt.
Wait, does he say to eat dirt, or are they getting it from microbes on the dirt that are animals?
Well, no, he's I heard him in an interview once explaining, and I wish I could find that interview. He's like, well, you know, if you don't wash your carrots and they got dirt on it, you know, there is some B vitamins and you get B12 from that. That's when I went, okay, this guy's out of his fucking mind.
Wait, is he but what is he saying what in the dirt has B12?
Some
Is he speaking
mineral
of the
and some
microbes?
dirt. Not all dirt is the same, by the way.
No,
You
I
can't
I
tell me that
understand
dark
that.
is the same as Mississippi silt, right? I just sounded like the biggest southerner in the world, but
No, I understand that. I mean,
it
depend listen, I live in wine country, you hear about the dirt, the terroir all the time,
right,
how
right.
it affects things. So I'm just curious what it would be in soil that produces B12. It
Does
seems like it
dirt
would have to be a living organism, right? Because it isn't B12 only found in
um
critters?
does dirt
Are you
contain
Googling does dirt have
B12?
B12?
According to Gregory, you could get yes, vitamin B12 can be found in soil, but it is not as prevalent as it once was.
Oh.
Bacteria in soil, bacteria. So the bacteria. So there you go, vegans.
So that's what I just said. It's microbes that have it.
That's a living organism. You
That's what
guys
I
don't like the living
you just
organism, but
proved my point.
okay. Maybe you guys want some E. coli too. That's a living organism. Let's see how
Sure.
that works for you.
That'll live in your gut. You want an
Yeah.
imbalance of that?
Oh yeah. That'll keep you nice and lean.
That's
Bacteria
true.
in soil and water
The
produces
E. coli
vitamin
diet.
B12, which can then be absorbed by plants and animals before
Vinny,
large scale farming.
your next documentary should
Yeah.
be something stupid like where you get people to try the E. coli diet and see how far you get with it in society.
Anna, they made
I
me put
bet you would get really far with it.
okay, Anna.
Yeah.
They made me put a PG-13 on a movie. Mike Rowe,
On a movie about fake cake.
Mike Rowe brought it up during his show, but after the show, we
Yeah.
sat around for about another hour. We ended up having a meeting with his woman, Mary, you know, his right-hand woman,
Yeah.
about something else. We started discussing other stuff. But he kept going back to literally you PG-13. I went, yeah, Mike. And he goes, did you show me the whole movie? It's like,
Yeah.
Mike,
Is there like a string of cuss words that you cut out?
yeah, you know, no, you got the entire movie. You got the whole thing.
I'm
And
Googling what makes a movie
yeah,
PG-13.
because we're going to talk a little bit because the movie is now out, Anna. But
Yeah,
let's.
we're gonna talk about that. But let me tell you something. A
Mhm.
PG-13 motion picture may go beyond the PG rating and theme, violence, nudity, sensuality, language, adult activities, but does not reach the restricted R category.
Okay.
How many naked people did you have in it?
0.
What
Well,
about
Mary
violence?
Newport. No, wait, hang on. Mary Newport had her top button, I think, unbuttoned.
One button. Okay, that doesn't
Mhm.
count.
Okay.
Violence? Was there violence?
No, no violence.
Was there sensuality?
Well,
I mean, there may be some shots of food porn.
you know, my
You might
sultry
be
voice,
tempted to eat something. Well, yeah,
my
your sultry
voice
voice,
is a bit, you know, kind of like some people say a cross between Barry White and Lou Rawls. No
And
one,
we just established there was no language, bad language.
no language.
Adult activities? Were there adult activities?
I did show a picture of Scott King at the end and Robin Dobbins.
Yeah, no.
And I think they were both fully clothed, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it was definitely a G-rated
Mhm.
situation.
Yeah. I'm trying. Yeah, no, but
Was there anything
gave me no
frightening? Was
they
there
gave me no
anything
reason. They literally, the email said, if you agree to do this, we will agree to put your movie out. That's number one. Number two, they did not put it under health documentaries,
Oh, where do they put it?
special interest. So
That's
if
how they're getting
people
around the
go, I want to
category.
watch, if
Well, then
someone
you should be #1 documentary in special interest.
goes, who knows? Who
So, by
knows?
the way, this is why reviews are so important
Yeah. Yeah. Which we
because,
will talk about today. So,
yeah,
Anna,
you're not gonna be organically found in the health documentary category.
right.
You won't be listed alongside your other documentaries in the category that your other documentaries are in. Is this
Uh,
correct?
I don't think so. You
Cool.
can look it up while we're talking and see.
Cool.
But yeah, from what I can understand, we were in special interest and not under health documentaries. But maybe if you put in documentaries by Vinnie Tortorich, it might come up as one of the four. But
Mm.
people, look, our audience knows my name and knows that I'm associated with these documentaries. But how does the normal person that's never met me? You see, the whole idea behind doing these is to get more people to understand how keto is not keto is not keto. That's
Right.
the
Yeah.
But if they go searching on Amazon, they're not going to find this under health documentaries, which is crazy to me.
If
Just
I'm
crazy.
under special interest and then I tick the health box
Mm-hmm.
under special interest subcategory,
Mm-hmm.
here's some of your competition.
Mm-hmm.
9-hour rainstorm for sleep.
Okay. Am I there?
Here's one.
Okay.
30-day shred, Jillian Michaels.
Oh,
Congratulations.
I'm next to Jillian Michaels. Am I there though?
You're there.
Okay.
You got to scroll down a little bit. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows of 4.
Yeah, they got me buried. It's kind of like an article on the 10th page back when people read newspapers when they would bury a story. That's where the term comes from, burying a story.
Yeah.
They would bury it to where
Burying the lead. Yeah.
nobody would read it, you know. And
Hospital diaries. A lot of fresh, simple, healthy meals. There's cooking shows on here,
hmm,
but a lot of like night sky sounds, gentle midnight rain sounds, midnight thunderstorm
well,
sounds.
so you get it. You don't have to go through all of it. You get it. That's where they have me hidden.
So, but now, if I go back to Prime Video and I go to, what should I go to? Movies?
I would say go to documentary.
Wait, let me just look up where fat a documentary is.
Okay.
And let's see what category that's in.
And by the way, Fata documentary went back into the top 75 on
Great.
iTunes about a month ago. That movie is like what, 5 or 6 years old now, and we made it
Yeah.
back in the top 100 again. Which on iTunes, that's an amazing number.
So it's under the documentary category.
What is?
Fat, but they put it under the category of edifying and then fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Amazon has been, when people go, come on, Vinny, come on. I was talking to one of my neighbors the other day, who came over, who's very political, right? And as you know, I'm somewhat apolitical. If someone comes over to my house and they're talking, right wing, right wing, right wing, I'll stay in the middle and go, well, what about A, B, C, and D?
Right.
If someone on the left comes over and starts talking left, left, left wing, left wing, left wing, I'm going to go, what about A, B, C, and D?
Right.
Because, you can find the stuff on both sides. And each group thinks, oh, like when I'm talking to left, oh, you're a Trumper. And when I'm talking to someone on the right, they'll say, oh, so you're in love with Biden and Kamala. No, I'm just asking questions. Why can't we, in this country,
Everyone has to be
are we
polarized.
not allowed to ask questions anymore?
In the world that we work in, which is helping people,
Right.
it needs to not get political because we're
Right.
trying to get people to eat healthy and get their lives cleaned up in their homes. That's what we work on.
But the point I make to both of these groups, whenever
Yeah.
I'm talking, and usually it's a husband and wife that comes over for drinks and dinner and the whole thing. And I won't shy away from it. If they bring it up, I won't shy away from the subject. I'll tell them that, look, I don't have a horse in a race. I'll vote for who I'm going to vote for. And you will never know who that is. Right. But I'll discuss it and I'll bring up the other side. And then they'll say, well, how can you possibly say that about Trump? Or how can you possibly say that about Kamala? Or whatever they say. And I'll say, because I'm a guy who does not get treated fairly at all in media. And then, what are you talking about? You do well. Don't you do well? And I went, no. I'm
because you
back.
worked your ass off.
I'm throttled back on YouTube. YouTube tells you that I'm throttled back because I tell people to eat meat. Right? Go ask Dr. Berg or anyone else. They'll tell you. We get throttled back. I get throttled back on Instagram. When I mention words like throttled back and shadow banned, all of these people, whether they're on the right or the left, says the same thing. What are you talking about? You're telling me that they're going after you. It's like, no, I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you I think that. These are facts. And I said, if you knew how to look at the back end of Instagram or the back end of YouTube and you were able to read what we get to read and see what happens with the numbers, you would understand too that not everyone gets a fair shake. And what Amazon is doing to me right now is exactly that. That's why we got to get the message out here. Because if I can't sell enough of these on Amazon, I won't have the money to go put it on all these other VODs down the road. See, this thing needs to have a long tail, right? This is not about gun it and run, right? I need a long tail. I need to make some of this money back so that I can have some money to go put it other places.
Right.
Right.
Well, and to pay your bills so that you can continue doing this work.
Look, I've often said, if the money doesn't come back, we're done. We're out of, people go, hey, why don't you do seed oils next? Okay.
Why don't you do seed oils?
Like a documentary on it. And I'll go, okay.
Oh, I was like, I thought you meant make seed oils. I was like, wait, what?
No, why don't you do a documentary and talk about seed? Maybe. I got 2 or 3 ideas, but if the money doesn't come back,
I mean, listen,
I'm done. And I'm good, by the way. I don't make money on documentaries. I'm doing this to put information out there. I'm playing with house money. But when the house money stops coming back, that's it. And I know this sounds like a veiled threat. It's not a threat. Because as you know, Anna.
No, that's just reality.
I fret over these documentaries.
Yeah.
Because it's my face. I got to be there. I got to speak with correct English. I can't mail it in the way I do this fucking podcast.
You heard it here first.
But you understand what I'm saying? You got to be there. You got to be on point. You got to pay people to check. You got lawyers. You got everything else. Because I'm not going to put lies out there. Every word that comes out of my mouth, everything I put in those documentaries is vetted right, left, and center so that we don't get sued. Because if someone gets sued, it's me. So every time I do a documentary, I'm putting my ass on the line. And if it ends right here, I'm good. Right? So that's where we are. So go on Amazon, do what you're going to do. Go ahead, Jeff Bezos. Go get on your damn yacht. Do what the hell you do. I'm good.
Bezos don't give a fuck.
He doesn't care.
He does not care.
It
ain't Bezos. Bezos is so checked out.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. He's out there, banging some hot chick with too much plastic surgery. Remember when she was kind of cute and she was on LA television?
I vaguely remember her. I don't really track his
She
babes.
was like,
and I can't keep up with Leonardo DiCaprio's models.
I don't think she was
People know their names. I'm like, how do you know their names?
She was too old for him. She was like 23 at the time.
Exactly.
But she was like on Telemundo, and I think
Lauren Sanchez.
Lauren Sanchez.
I pulled that out of my ass.
I think the mayor, Vera Ragosa, used to
bone her.
used to tag her. It's like her history is not stellar, right? It's like she was known for being with
I'm going to say something unpopular.
Go on.
Not knowing anything about Via Vergosa, he's an attractive man.
Is he?
I think so.
He always
There, I said it.
He looked a little greasy to me, like
Yeah.
he's a little too much. You see, you like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you wop. Yeah. Is he good looking? Like, look,
Via Vergosa, I think so. I mean, he's attractive. I wouldn't say good look. Does that make sense? Like,
no, because like look, I
like
can look
good Lord put his features together well. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm not acting like I don't understand what a good looking man is. I get it. Tom Cruise, good looking. Rob Lowe, good looking. Tom Brady, maybe I think about going gay. But
maybe.
yeah, I understand what a good looking man looks like. Right.
Now I have to look up Via Vergosa because I seriously haven't seen a face of his face in probably a decade.
Yeah, I just
Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. Let me look.
He looked a little greasy to me.
Via
Like literally, he looked slimy to me.
Yeah.
Was he good looking?
He does look slimy.
Okay, I thought so.
He's a good looking, slimy looking dude.
All right, I'm going to let you have him if you want. I mean, if you want,
I don't want him.
So wait,
he's also 71 now. So
what? Well, that's ageism right there, Anna.
No, he's aged.
Okay, that's still ageism. Hey, listen. If you want him to be your
listen, if my husband leaves me, and he probably will, I'm gonna have to look in that age range. That's what's available to me. So I am not ageist at all. Older men, if I'm ever available, hide your wallets.
If something ever happens to Serena,
yeah,
I'm done with women.
You're gonna just go straight for Tom Brady.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hit that.
Good
or his ex-wife, whichever comes first. No, I'm not going to look for another relationship. It's just that one.
No.
I couldn't do it.
It's exhausting.
No, it's you're telling me. It's crazy.
How long have you been married? How long have I been married?
2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going
to say. Come on. I've been literally
I'm just teasing you.
With one woman for what, close to 18 years?
Yeah.
That's a long time. If you added
one man for 26 years.
All right, so yeah, you got me beat by a bunch of years, but come on, 18 years.
Only because he tricked me into having his baby. So
yeah, he got y'all knocked up.
Yeah.
But Anna, come on, in Hollywood, 17, 18 years, that's like a record, right?
You could have had 4 marriages.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, I wanted to read some reviews of the documentary.
Okay. So
Can I do that?
Are they showing up at this point? So today is the 3rd?
Yeah, they are. It takes a while. I do know that Amazon will. Let's just real quick. I want to say this, Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is great. Please, everybody, go watch Dirty Keto. I said last week that I would do a tally of everything I bought, the stupid shit I paid for this week, to prove a point that we all buy stupid shit all week. Even when I say I'm trying to watch my money, I still buy stupid shit. But one stupid thing I did not buy this week was I paid retail for Dirty Keto. However, I had $1.50 off. You want to know why? Because when you choose your Amazon shipments, if you delay like a week, they'll give you discounts on digital purchases.
Really?
So I got my Dirty Keto not for $9.99, for $8.49.
Wow.
I know. That's
we need to do. We really need to do that. We need to do a financial podcast.
I mean, I think we're doing it right now. How to save $1.50. You got to spend a lot to save a lot.
And you know my rule.
Yeah.
Making money. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep.
That's right.
And people go, oh, what's $1.50? Well, okay. If you do that 5 times, you know what you got?
Love it. I love $1.50 bargain.
I
love it.
$1.50. I mean, every penny counts. Don't give your money away.
Well, we're going to be talking about this video, but let me just tell you real quick. Here's what I bought. I kept track of it. Here's what I bought. This is going to sound like It's an ad for your companies, but this is literally what I bought this past week since the last time we turned off the mics.
All right.
I went to purevitaminclub.com, and here's why. Because I just received a brand new thing of UltraSalts.
Mm-hmm.
And Lauren walked in and he goes, "Can I have this?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, you can just open it, but we still have like, a third of a bottle left." He's like, "No, I'm taking it to Larry." Larry is the golf pro who he plays with all the time over at the La Prisma course.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, "I'm giving this to Larry." And I was like, "Okay, well, I need to order some more UltraSalt." But it's what I've been saying for years now. We need UltraSalt and UltraFats on every golf course in America. And maybe the men would be saved from having a heart attack on the golf course when it's 100 degrees and their electrolytes are all fucked up.
2/3 less Cushing's disease if my products can end up on a golf course.
I would believe it.
Listen, every golfer I see, they look like they have Cushing's disease. Anna,
Well, Lauren's doing his part and he's bringing an entire bottle to the pro who runs La Prisma golf course. And if y'all are in the Central Coast, you're going to know the golf course I'm talking about.
can I
PGA.
talk about UltraSalt for just a second?
Yes, I love it. So I ordered 2 things of UltraSalt this week. That's one thing.
And we're going to get to these reviews, and we're going to get to everything else you bought. But I'm glad you brought up UltraSalt. Don Coddington, hang on.
It's the billionaire Don Coddington's Friday 5 o'clock.
Anyway, Don Coddington was asking. He was like, your UltraSalt is great. Okay, whenever he says that, I'm ready for the downside.
But
He goes, but I got to remember every 15 ounces to 20 ounces of water. I went, yeah, you know what? Sometimes
Don?
to do something right sometimes takes a little work. Yeah, but these other companies, you just pour like the Element, you just pour it in, this and that. While we were having this conversation, I was walking around Costco.
Uh-huh.
And
they have the Element at Costco, I think.
I don't know
There's
that.
some other brand. My girlfriend and I use her
Have
Costco
liquid, they have liquid, they have liquid IV.
That's it. That's what she gets.
So I said, Don, let me explain something to you. If you take my product and you open up the capsule and you drop it in a glass of water and you stir it as well as you want to stir it, right? Before long, you will see some salt and other minerals go to the bottom.
Right. It sinks.
Because it's heavier than the rest of. So if you got the proper amount of minerals in that water, a lot of them are going to fall to the bottom. That's why when I tell people, that's why I like when I put the UltraSalt in this bottle with the top on it, before I drink it, I flip it upside down and give it like a 3 or 4 shake and then turn it over and start drinking. And he goes, yeah, why is that? And I said, have you ever noticed with Liquid IV or Element or any of these other, Noom, any of these products, right? You put it in effervescent and it just doesn't go to the bottom because they don't have all of the correct combination of minerals.
Are you serious?
Products. Yeah, you have a substandard product. He goes, yeah, and theirs tastes better. I went, yeah, because they add a shit ton of sugar.
Yeah, they put a sugar or stevia.
I walked by Liquid IV, and I said, Don, here, I'm walking by Liquid IV, and I'm pulling it up right now, Anna. The first 2 things was sugar and Liquid IV.
What?
Yeah, sugar. The first 2 ingredients was sugar. I'm not making this up. I'm not good enough to make it up. Key ingredients. Hang on. I want the audience, this might take a second, and this is not very smooth, but I want the audience to know this. Hydration multipliers, what they call themselves. Such bullshit. Glucose, sodium, 5 essential vitamins. They say, all right, I'm supposed to be able to get the ingredients here, but they're not giving it to me. They're hiding it. So let me go somewhere else to see if I can find it. Here we go. Ingredients. Here we go. I'm not going to read the whole list. Sugar. And then in parentheses, pure cane sugar, as if that makes a difference.
Right. They want to do the trickery of, well, it's cane sugar, so it's a healthy sugar.
Okay, yeah, tell it to your liver.
It's honey. It's healthy. It's honey healthy.
The second ingredient, dextrose.
a fake sugar, an unhealthy sugar.
Actually, no. Dextrose is a sugar that they burn when you burn like corn or wheat.
Right.
That's how, dextrinization, that's how it comes about.
But it's an extra processed sugar.
And then number 3, citric acid. Okay.
Citric
3
acid.
ingredients. That citric acid is amongst the top 3 ingredients, right? We have not gotten to an electrolyte yet. Do you understand that?
That seems like a really high, because you have to use citric acid to keep things shelf stable sometimes, but it's a form of vitamin C. But why so much more than electrolytes? That doesn't make sense.
The top 3, I'm reading this just as it comes.
Okay.
The top 3 ingredients: sugar, and then citric acid. And then finally, we have salt. And then we have potassium citrate, sodium citrate, and then we go right into natural flavors. As you know, natural flavors.
We don't know what those are.
Yeah. Okay.
They will never be revealed.
Yeah. Potassium phosphate, and then D-basic, or whatever that is, and then silicon dioxide, something I would never put in any of my products.
Silicon dioxide, the sand?
Pretty much. And then the next ingredient, the very next ingredient, stevia leaf extract, more sweetener.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, more ascorbic acid. No, we had citric acid before. I'm sorry.
Citric acid and then ascorbic acid.
No, ascorbic is actually vitamin C.
Yeah,
Way down the list. They have niacinamide, which is a vitamin B, and then they got a couple of B vitamins, and it tails off. Oh, cyanocobalamin. So guess what? They have cyanide in the product. So there you have it, folks.
Wait, cyanocobalamin?
Yeah. So you
as opposed to methylcobalamin, the active form of, what is that? B6?
No, B12.
B12. Sorry.
So you can hook B12 to 2 molecules. You can hook it to a cyanide molecule. You can hook it to a bunch of things, but in the industry, you can methylate it and do it that way, or you can hook it to a cyanide molecule to save a shit ton of money. But you're literally putting a small amount of cyanide in your system. Okay.
So your multi has methylcobalamin. I've read the
That's
ingredients.
Correct. And my B12
is the methylated active form, so that if you have the MTHFR gene, you'll be able to digest and process the activated form of methylcobalamin.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So I just gave you all of the ingredients, right?
That sounds trash.
Okay. Let me go a little further. All right. You know what? Let's do this. UltraSalt.
Yeah, please.
I didn't mean to turn this into an ad for UltraSalt.
I don't care. I'm so bothered by everybody pouring the things. I'm personally bothered that these companies are bigger and more well-known than yours. I mean, it's just,
well,
I guess it's a matter of pride or whatever. Yours is so far superior. It bothers me.
All right. So basically with UltraSalt, what we do is what I did was I deconstructed sweat. I'm just going to be, right. I figured out exactly what sweat has in it.
Okay.
Right. And
what does sweat have in it?
Well, it has sodium chloride. It has chloride under sodium chloride. We have potassium from straight potassium. We have bicarbonate and potassium glutamate. I'm sorry.
Glutamate.
We have calcium as calcium carbonate. We have magnesium. By the way, Liquid IV had what? No magnesium. Let me go back and make sure. This is supposed to be a superior. No magnesium. No magnesium whatsoever. And what else do we have? We have manganese, chelated manganese. Okay. Does Liquid IV have that? No, it doesn't. So if you're taking something like Liquid IV, one of the, people go, oh, it's like taking an IV. No, it's fucking junk food. Kool-Aid might be better. And I'm not being funny here. I'm not being funny at all. I didn't mean to turn this into an ad for UltraSalt, but I just read why the majority of people who run the hottest race on the planet, the Badwater 135, which is a 135-mile bike race through Death Valley during summer solstice, the hottest time of the year, the temperatures reach 125. This year, I think they got as high as 128. They had a record breaker out there. And the coolest these people might see on the course before they start going up the portal is the coolest temperature they might see is 105. So they're out in that running for 35 to 48 hours. Okay. The number one product that they use is UltraSalt. The number one product. We were the title sponsor for that event for 7 years for a reason.
Yeah.
This is what most of the top athletes around the world use. There's a difference between what we do and what everyone else does.
Well,
And that's why Don goes, why can't you mix it in water? Because when you put all the heavy nutrients in there, the water can't absorb it all. You got to shake it up and drink it down, or just put the capsule in your mouth and then drink between 15 or 20 ounces of water before you have it. Well,
that's how I do it.
Says Mr. Coddy Cod.
Millionaire Don Connington's.
There's a lot to remember. No, you're on a bike. You got nothing else to think about. If you're drinking 20 ounces of water every hour, pop another one in your mouth. It's pretty simple. When I was ultracycling,
I have no problem with it.
and by the way, when I was ultracycling, if I ever forgot to take one, I knew during the next hour.
Right.
And you never want to get down on your hydration, because the fact of the matter is you cannot get it once you start losing it. You got to stay on top of it. There's a guy, Ken, I can't say his last name, Ken Leneski. You can find him.
Oh, I've seen him on the internet.
Yeah. He works for UPS. And he tells me the back of that truck is like being in a convection oven.
Yeah, I bet.
Right. All day. He lives on UltraSalt. He will tell you he wears out pairs of shoes every year. And he's a runner on top of that. Right. He explains what it's like to use UltraSalt. I was just talking to Scott King, who's getting ready to run some pretty long triathlons. And he was like, I'm in a Texas heat. I don't know how I did it before this. Right? It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is not an ad. I'm just talking to you guys.
No,
and by the way, if you don't want to use my product, the closest thing you're going to find, let me give you another brand, Salt Sticks. But of course, they put titanium dioxide in there.
Well, I have to say this. My personal experience not being an ultra athlete or a UPS delivery person, but still it's 95 degrees right now. And I try to get my exercise in the morning before the sun gets too hot. But I take an UltraSalt when I wake up with a glass of water before my coffee. I take another one at the end of my walk or at the end of my cardio. And if I ever have a headache, I don't take Advil, Vinnie. I first will take an UltraSalt and guzzle a cup of water. And most of the time, this is anecdotal, most of the time my headache goes away. So that tells me that it's an electrolyte imbalance headache.
Sometimes it's hard to fight back from, when you have a dehydration headache, like the kind you get when you drink too much. I'm going to be honest. It's tough.
Oh, a hangover. That's a different thing. I take 2. If I know I've been drinking, I take 2 UltraSalts and 2 magnesiums of yours and a large glass of water, and then make sure I drink water if I wake up in the night.
I haven't been drinking.
And I don't get a hangover.
I'm still trying to get over cancer, so there's been no drinking. And by the way, my drinking doesn't look like drinking, right? It's a drink. And yes, even when I pour them at home, I measure out, an ounce and a half or whatever it is. And that's it. So I don't really drink. But even if I have that, I know I'm putting a poison in my body. I always have 2 before with almost a full bottle of this 40 ouncer right here. And I'll enjoy my drink. And at my age with my prostate, I pee about 6 times during the course of that drink. And then when I'm done, I'll have another 2 and sip another 30, 40 ounces of water. I never feel a thing. I'll get up the next morning, get on my rowing machine, get on my bike, whatever I want to do. I don't feel it at all.
Yep.
Right? Period. And when I used to go out with Corolla and company, and I knew I was going to have 2 drinks because I was trying to act cool with the guys, peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Which also meant I had to wake up poor Serena to call me an Uber because I didn't have the app on my phone. So I would Uber there, and then they would have to Uber me home. And I would have the 2 drinks. I always had the water with me in the restaurant underneath the table. So when I got up to go home, I can start drinking the water in the Uber all the way home. That was me on a drinking night, 2 drinks.
You sound like a barrel of monkeys.
Oh, that's why no one ever wants to go out with me, because it's like, yeah, this guy's got
um,
a blanket.
well, I didn't mean for it to turn into an ad for your UltraSalt either, but why not point out why you do what you do? There's nothing wrong with that, because maybe people don't understand how this product is important and why it's differentiated in the market. And now maybe everybody does. Lauren obviously does, because he stole the entire new bottle that I bought for myself to take to Larry the pro at La Prisma Golf
It
Course.
changes on your back nine.
Yeah.
I know this from golfers. It changes your game. For the guys on the skeet field, most of those old guys don't take it because I can't convince them. They all go, "Oh no, Vinny, I can't take your product. My doctor says I have to cut down on salt because I have high blood pressure."
Right.
All of them.
Right.
So they won't
Yes.
take it. I can't convince them to take it. These
fine.
guys are all better shooters than
Stay
me.
out of it.
They're all
out of
better shooters. But guess what? It's been 98, 100 degrees with 100% humidity here.
Yeah.
They're wearing ice vests. They buy these ice vests that they wear to keep their core
To cool them
cool.
down.
I'm out there. My T-shirt is soaking wet. I'll change T-shirts about halfway through to put a dry one on. I'll soak that one. But for the 4 rounds, they start sulking in round number 3. Even with those ice vests on, their numbers go down. Guess whose numbers? Well, I suck anyway, so my numbers can't get lower, but my numbers start going up in round 3 and 4 the way they do in the wintertime. Right now, I'm warmed up. I'm in tune with these birds.
Yeah, and you're not fading.
I'm not fading because between every round, pop another one, drink 20 more ounces of water. I'm keyed up.
Why is the ice vest not a thing in the menopausal community? That sounds like a slam dunk.
You guys could go buy them. Debbie, let's put an ice vest
Put an
on.
ice vest on there for the ladies.
And I don't know how they
I got
work.
my hormones regulated now, so I don't have hot flashes anymore, but I could have used that last summer.
And they all, maybe it's made for that, but Jimmy
Maybe
got one. Bob had
don't tell the men you shoot with that. They're not going to like to hear that.
Well, no, Bob had his wife sew pockets into one of his shooting vests. And
well, if it's made without pockets, then it's definitely for women. So
no, this is like
she sewed it in.
The one Jimmy has is a big neoprene looking thing, which looks like it would be hotter.
Yeah.
But you put the whole thing in a freezer, and I think it's got like gel, the gel that you
gel packs, yeah,
all in it. And
Love it.
Jimmy, when he pulls that thing out, it looks frosty. Like they pull it out of an ice
I
cap.
feel like our female listeners who are of a certain age are like listening to this going, yeah, that sounds amazing.
I know. But no, these guys, the older guys, because a lot of them have type 2 diabetes. They got, all the things, right? All the things that and look, when people go, Vinny, why are you so passionate about this stuff? It's because the people I hang out with, I see it. They have type 2 diabetes. They all have high blood pressure. They all have this. Hell, Bobby, not Bob. We got a Bob and a Bobby. Has had 2 heart attacks. So he doesn't even come out in the summer anymore.
Yeah.
His wife won't let him. These guys, and I love Bobby. Bobby's going to hear this. He listens to the podcast. Hey, Bobby, miss you out there, buddy.
Listen, my husband came home from playing a golf tournament in Ojai. You know how Ojai gets hotter than everywhere else. He comes home playing a golf tournament in 106 degrees. This is a couple years ago before he knew about UltraSalts. And and he looked so worse for the wear. And I was like, what do you do? Take the salts. That's the whole reason they're there. And I was like, you're expressly forbidden from going to play golf in 106 degree weather without at least having the UltraSalts. Because that's how these dudes drop dead on the golf course. It's like, no. But I get the whole salt thing because I hear it from people all the time doing the samples, like how much sodium. And I can say with authority, less than half of what's in Rayo's. You know what I mean? It's like, I get it. But I'm also like, salt's not the bad guy. But whatever, we're not going to have that.
And look, Anna, the other day I went out, I walk when I talk to people.
Yeah.
It was midday. I left the house at noontime. I had 2 hours of people to talk to.
Yep.
One of my neighbors sees me on the way out. She waves to me. I got the 511 vest on with the 20 pounds on it. It's called
Yeah.
511. It looks like a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
I got that on.
Do you recommend walking with those vests on?
Be careful in the summer. Look, I'm a pro. I know what I'm doing. But if you're not in that kind of shape, yeah, I'm fine with walking with the vest, right? So I got the vest on. My neighbor sees me and waves to me on the way out. I'm walking around for about 2.5 hours because 2 of those hours were talking to, doing the consults.
Yeah.
And so I'm coming back home and she passes me. She pulls up behind me and rolls down her window. She goes, wait a minute. I left the house at around 11:30. I said, no, you left the house at noontime. And she looks at her watch and she goes, it's 2:30. Please tell me this is your second walk. And I went, no, I've been out here since I waved to you. And she was like, with that big thing on, she doesn't know what it is. She sees the big vest, right?
Right.
And I went, yeah. And she goes, how do you do it? I drink a lot of water, right? I held up my bottle. I put it in my little finger like that. I just swing it while I'm walking. And by the way, I stop at a couple of neighbors along the way, old school. I hit the hose.
Get the hose and refill it.
Yeah. I'm not proud. And folks, look, these hoses are nasty and I shouldn't be doing that, especially with cancer.
You might be on the E. coli diet before long.
I'm old school. I know where to hit the hose. And
You're not supposed to have microbes.
I know. But according to Dr. Greger, I'm getting my B12. And
okay, let me finish this list and we got to read a couple reviews. So what I bought from Pure Vitamin Club was 2 UltraSalts, 2 magnesiums, and 2 vitamin Ds. So since we're already talking about it, I know that the magnesiums and vitamin Ds are supposed to be back in the next couple weeks, right?
Anna, we're having trouble. I'm hoping we're going to lose more customers. Let me just say this.
Because I figured I'd give you a chance to address it on the air.
We're in back order.
Okay.
And people will
I still ordered it. You got my cash.
And we're working on never being out. I've been working on that for a year. We're getting closer. The issue is this. I refuse to buy substandard parts to make we have a broad spectrum magnesium. You're not just getting citrate or carbonate. You're getting 4 different magnesiums mixed together. That's why people love that formula so much.
Yeah.
Getting all of the right components, the high quality stuff is almost impossible. I rather lose customers than to make a lesser product and push it as the original product. I'm just not going to do it.
Okay. We take a lot of magnesium in this house.
Yeah. And look, with under my vitamin D, we use MK4 and MK7, methaquinone 4 and methaquinone 7.
Really hard to find in your competitors.
That's why it's super absorbent. That's why our D works better than, everyone goes, oh my God, I was on your D for like 5 minutes. My doctor says I brought it right back.
I got to be honest with you, Vinny. I got my blood work because I had to buy, because yours wasn't in stock. I had to buy somebody else's and I tried to look for the best I could. My D went back from 64 to 29.
Yeah.
And I was taking some. So that is worrisome to me. So I'm looking forward to getting yours back.
I know people are tired of hearing me say this, Anna. But the fact of the matter is I'm working very hard to try to figure out, to make it like it was the first 7 or 8 years of the business where we were never out of anything. And I'm making big changes. I'm making hard, excuse me. I'm making hard changes.
He's crying.
I am crying. I'm making hard changes that are not easy to make. I'm doing some hard things at that company.
I understand.
But I'm doing things that will make it where I'm never out. And that is my number 1 goal. And then after that goal, my number 2 goal is, a win back campaign, to go back to everyone and go, hey guys, I promise you now, we will never be out again. In the meantime, I hope we hang on to the customer.
It's so hard to find suppliers who get what you want to do.
Oh, every one of them is saying to me, dude, just, come on. What are you doing? Just use this. No one's going to know. It's like, no. I got that GMP mark on my products. GMP stands for Good Manufacturer Practices.
Yeah.
I refuse to become like what I talk about in the movie, Dirty Keto, where everyone's lying to you. I'm not going to become a liar.
Right.
I'd rather
Agreed.
you guys hate me and not use my products, and I'd rather go broke. I'd rather go broke than to lie to you guys.
Yeah.
So
It's really painful as a business person to not be able to sell your products and to lose those sales. It hurts the business in so many ways. I completely understand.
But I'm going to get this business back to where I can get the products all the time, have them in stock, and do what we used to do.
Do you have an ETA on those 2 products?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well,
So
I thought maybe mid-August. So,
I
but
don't wanna
I also
lie
was
to you
like, I'm going to buy them anyway and reserve them anyway.
the vitamin D, they lied to me for 6 fucking months before I got it. Oh yeah, Vinny, it's here next week. It's coming. Stuff never came.
It's infuriating.
Stuff never came. And then I'm telling people, yeah, it's coming. It makes me look like a liar. So I refuse to give dates. I'm not giving dates anymore, but I am working.
Understand.
I'm working behind the scenes personally to get this company where it used to be. Anna, let's do a Villa Capelli ad, and then we'll read some blah, 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 blah.
All right, I will finish the next time what I bought in a week.
Yeah.
Villa Capelli is the best olive oil on the planet. You definitely need it. I just billed Steven, by the way. Yeah, Villa Capelli pays us because they're our only sponsor on this podcast. They have been a sponsor of this podcast for about 10 years now. They make the best olive oil on the planet. Last night we had a board meeting. Vinny, I sit on a board. Did you know that? The Women Winemakers and Culinarians Foundation.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And these women are over here, and these women are winemakers, OG winemakers and olive oil makers and chefs, an insanely talented group of women.
Huh.
And one of them turns to me and says, "Are you into olive oil?" And my chair almost fell over backwards. I was like, I can't even believe someone's asking me this question, but they don't know me,
Sure.
We're getting to know each other as board members of this foundation.
Of course.
And so I got to explain to that because they didn't even know the women who've made the olive oil local and who've had the olive oil in Italy. They didn't know that you're legally allowed to cut olive oil with cheaper oils to a certain percentage, that you're allowed to run chlorophyll in the oil to colorize it, that you're allowed to put deodorizers, hexane, all sorts of additives into the oil to make it less rancid, to clean it up. And that is not pure olive oil. That is not the stuff that we want to put in our bodies, you guys. What we want is Villa Capelli olive oil. Again, like I said, long-term sponsors of this show. I've seen them make the oil with my own eyes. Stephen Crutchfield is making a beautiful oil. It's all in stock right now. So make sure you head over to villacapelli.com. Get the clean first press extra virgin olive oil with the Puglia pinch. The polyphenols will give you a little pinch at the back of your throat when you taste it. Trust me, if you've only had grocery store olive oil, then you have this olive oil, you're going to be shocked at how much flavor it has. Use the discount code Vinnie, Vinnie. You're going to get 10% off your order each and every time you order. Make sure you have your cart size up around 145, 150, so that when you use the discount code, you still qualify for free shipping. It's like 2 discounts in one. Vinnie, Vinnie is the discount code.
I just found while Anna's pulling up a couple of these reviews, I just found this really good Parmigiana, like the good hard Parmigiana.
Mm-hmm.
And right before we started this podcast, I made myself the quad. I just finished the quad espresso. I had 4 shots.
Oh, the quad espresso. I was like,
I had my quad, and I took that Parmigiana. I took a Villa Capelli and put it in like a little sauce dish. I put some molten salt in there with it, and I was dipping my Parmigiana in. Oh my God.
Yum.
And then I washed it down during this podcast with that quad. I feel like I'm shot to the moon because right after this, we're having a VIP watch party.
Ooh, good.
Yeah. So the VIP group, it's free of charge. For the VIP group, we're going to watch it and have a discussion about it. But go on, Anna. Let's read a couple of reviews.
Okay, so Tess's review is really nice. Shout out to Tess. I've been keeping up with Vinnie Tortorich for years now. This is his 4th documentary that I've watched. I've listened to his podcast. I've listened to his audiobook, Fitness Confidential. Everything he provides to the masses is fantastic. He makes clear and concise points. He explains the reasoning well, and he's so real about it in a way that only he can be. I bought this documentary the moment I learned it was released, and it was money well spent. Was it things I already knew? Mostly, but that is just because I'm an avid student. But he also added in new information. The points he makes always lead me on yet another branch of my quest for knowledge, which leads me to having a better understanding today than I did yesterday. I would give this video 50 stars if that was an option. Keep fighting the good fight, Vinnie.
Wow. Thank
Isn't
you.
that amazing
What's your name?
and so thoughtful?
Yeah, very nice.
Michael writes, Dirty Keto breaks down how corporations looking to profit have seized onto the ketogenic diet and warped it into products that bear little to no resemblance to actual ketogenic foods. Watch this doc from a guy whose only agenda is to give you information helpful to healthy decision making.
Very nice. Thank you, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do we have a bad review? Usually it's a bad review.
Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. Don't worry. The vegans will get a hold of it.
I didn't go after the vegans, so
That's
I might
true.
not have very many bad reviews.
Cindy writes, the best part is how he presents the information in truth, not pushy, and inspires you to do what's best for you while showing real examples of the benefits of eating healthy. By the way, I want to say this, Vinnie. The movie's great. We love the movie.
I'm waiting for a but.
No, these reviews are so important. Anytime you're asked for a review, that's an easy thing that you can do to just put your words and thoughts down, even if it's fast, because every time there's a new review, it helps somebody else be able to find the work.
Yeah.
It's whether you're reviewing the podcast, reviewing books, reviewing iTunes, reviewing the products, it's so super helpful. So thank you to everybody who's written a review. And also too, it's not necessarily easy to find it on the documentary page because Kurt Lapierre texted me earlier and he said he couldn't find it. I said, you have to click details and then you click read all reviews and then it lets you post your own review. So you want me to read one more?
Let's do one more because I do really have to get ready to go do the VIP. Oh, and I have other VIP news to give you.
I love this one. Let me Super Consumer writes, we all watched this together and my 8-year-old son made resolutions afterwards to eat less sugar, which is something we've been working on with him for some time now. Ben Bickman did a great job at detailing the issues around Wegovy and Ozempic.
Yeah, and you know,
I like that he watched it with the fam.
We could talk about this next week, but I did include, since I had Ben Bickman in it, it's like, okay, it would be deleterious on my part if I don't allow him to talk about GLP-1s. Just like I had Mary Newport talk about what she talked about and what have you. You know, I let him go a little bit.
Yeah.
Someone wanted to know on X the other day, why didn't you do anything on seed oils? Well, I like to keep things concise and straightforward and going. Now, if I did a whole, I could do a whole documentary on seed oils and get, people like Kate Shanahan in there and do that. I didn't want to conflate two movies into one. That's a whole subject in and of itself. And I get people going, well, some of the Dirty Keto stuff has seed oils in it.
Yeah.
So does everything else. So
Dirty Keto stuff has wheat flour and sugar in it. It's like,
maybe
what?
I could do dirty seed, right? Ooh, dirty seed.
Dirty seeds.
Next a lifetime.
That sounds like
yeah.
That sounds nasty.
Like a religious film, maybe. Dirty seed. That's right. All right.
That's
Anna,
Vinnie's religious.
Anna.
Yes.
Folks, go BOGO 25. Explain to me one more time.
If you buy a twin pack of taco seasoning over at eathappykitchen.com, you will get a twin pack of dill seasoning for 25% off. We never do 25% off discount.
It's hard to do 25 because at that point you've cut it quick.
It's done.
That's eathappykitchen.com. Go get all of the powder.
Oh, Vinnie.
What?
We just found out our puttanesca sauce is a finalist in the Shelfie Awards. And by finalist, there's only 4 of us in the entire sauce category.
So you're a top 4.
Yes.
In the Shelfies. Now explain what a Shelfie is.
The Shelfies are an emerging brand, a very prestigious emerging brands award thing. And they literally get hundreds of submissions per. Am I getting a Rudy clap right now?
Congratulations. Look, it's not easy.
Do you know how hard it is to stand out from all these other people who have tons of money and funding and all the things?
It's impossible. Nothing this exciting has happened since we were up for a podcast award almost 10 years.
That was so exciting in 2013.
Yeah.
when we lost, rightfully so, to the dulcet tones of Abel James.
Yeah. He's got the voice. Come on. How do you not?
There's nothing to be done.
Yeah. How do you not?
Anyway, so yeah, BOGO 25. Go get some spices. Buy that puttanesca if you haven't tried it. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Go do everything. Also, Anna has annavicino.substack.com. Go see what's
Correct.
going on over there.
Lots of recipes for you
Look,
beautiful
for me,
bitches.
the only thing I'm going to tell you guys to do is rate and review this podcast, but go and rate and review the movie after you watch
Very
it. So
important.
if you don't get Dirty Keto, and tell your friends to get it. Have your friends get this movie, because this is the only way we can continue going down the path of making more of these.
So the whole point of me talking about dumb shit I buy in 1 week, this movie is $10. Go buy it.
Or you can rent it for like $2.99.
Yeah, $2 or $3.
Look,
I think it's $3.
don't even buy it. Go rent it and get all your friends
Go
to
buy it. Buy it.
buy it and rent it. Do everything.
Wait till I talk about the Ali Sheedy wig that I bought. Next week we'll talk about it. If I can buy an Ali Sheedy wig, then I can buy Dirty Keto.
I want you to go look something up later on the internet. I want all of you guys to do this. Look at Ali Sheedy from the 80s and look at her now. Somehow her nose spread.
Oh.
Her nose looks different now. Look, we all, none of us look like we looked in the 80s. If you're in your 60s now, Ali's got to be my age. But
it looks pointier.
It looks different than it did back then, right? Usually we all get big giant ears and everything else. We all end up looking like elves. I don't know why this song came into my head. I haven't thought about this song since 1983. No, maybe 81. Maybe even 80. I don't think I've thought about this song in literally 80 till now is what, 44 years?
Okay.
But it's on my mind, and I don't know why it popped into my mind, but we're going to play it. So on behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living, and let's do it with the Gap Band.